What's up, trainers? You're back with Jax. And
do you really have to do that every time?
Well, it's my thing. Whatever. I like doing it. It's my video anyway. Just carry on. Anyway, what's up, trainers? You're back with Jax, and this video has been a long time coming. I am finally going to be spending my Stardust.
So, what am I doing here?
Well, you're here to actually spend the dust. I'm going to talk about it.
Can I say something?
And you're going to power it up.
Can I contribute to this video?
No, you can't have any input. Just start spending it, because it's going to take you a long time. So, I started powering up when I was at 6.78 million Stardust. And I got quite a few things to power up, as you would imagine. It's been October last year is the last time I really powered anything up. And a few things that I'm going to go through is, well, obviously, what I'm powering up. So, two reasons to power up. One, well, a couple. One, obviously you want the heaviest hitters. So, I've talked about this before. When raiding, you want to be dealing the most damage, so you've got the most Pokeballs to try and catch the raid boss with. So you want to have the highest DPS, regardless of weaknesses, and so this is where the first couple come in. So we've got Rayquaza. Rayquaza is the best dragon attacker. He is also the best attacker in a vacuum, meaning that if you ignored resistances and weaknesses and whatnot, he will deal the most damage out of everything we have at the moment, including Mewtwo, weirdly enough. But yes, Rayquaza, primo. Two, we have the other two beasts matching alongside it. So my Rayquaza is 98. I've got my Groudon, which is 98 as well, best ground attacker in the game. And we have Kuroge. Kuroge is my perfect one. Super happy about that. Once again, really strong, really powerful. So that's going to be powered up all the way. I have my perfect Dragonite, which I evolved during the Community Day event. So it's got Draco Meteor. It's not the best moveset, but I kind of want to keep it because it's, you know, special and can't actually get it again at the moment. So that's going to be powered up all the way through. And the heavy hitters, that's the majority of the heavy hitters that are being powered up. I've got Exeggutor, perfect, so I'm going to finish that out, get that to level 35. I've got a few that I'm touching up, so like Snorlax, I powered up to level 39.5, so I'm going to finish that off. I've got this Geodude here. I caught this, super lucky to catch this. Perfect IVs. It was level 32, 33 in the wild, so that's not going to take much up. Obviously, I'm going to evolve it to a Golem later on down the track, but there's a reason I'm keeping a few of these things in their first evolutions, but I'll get to that at some point. Machop. Still, Machop. I do not have a perfect one. I have about 96%, but this was a 98, which I caught at the Art Center, so I'm going to power that up. That'll take a fair bit of dust. Not going to evolve to a Machamp yet. I'm not ready to start doing Tyrannitars. You may not have you may have noticed that there's no Tyrannitars in the list here, purely because I have powered up 3 Tyrannitars to level 40. The Tyranitar is still the best attacker in the game when it comes to type advantages. There's so many things that are psychic that it just crushes. Mewtwo, Celebi when it comes out, so many things. If you've got Tyrannitars, you need to be investing dust in them. You don't have to take them all the way up to level 40. I did just because I like the high numbers. Level 30 to 35 is pretty much where you want to sit them at for that highest DPS possibility. So going back to the DPS thing, because when you're raiding, you're generally raiding in larger groups, that's what it's all about, you generally don't need a full team of 6. So there's people that have like 6 Tyrannitars or 6 Machamps fully powered up, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're the kind of person that wants to be able to solo or duo certain raid bosses, that's what you need to do. Me on the other hand, I generally raid in big groups, and so I only go through a couple of Pokemon at that. So I'm going to be putting this Stardust, keep going, going to be putting this Stardust into a couple of the attackers of the certain type. So Electric is pretty straightforward. Raikou is the best electric attacker in the game. So I've got my perfect one that was already powered up, but I'm also going to power up my 96 as well. I also managed to score a 98 Zapdos. when it was around, so I'm going to be powering that up. And hopefully some point this month I do get another 96, 98, or ideally a perfect Zapdos from the field research. So that's those ones there. Grass is a bit of an iffy one. So obviously I've got my Exeggutor, which is one of the best grass attackers. It's also a better psychic attacker. So remember, you've still got those TMs that you can swap between them depending on what situation arises. But I've got my Sceptile here. It's a perfect Sceptile. I've been waiting a long time to power this one up. I've been sitting on it for a while. So it's not one of the best grass attackers in the game, but it's perfect and it's mine. So I'm going to be doing that. And then there's the other reason to be powering up is just because you can, because you enjoy it, because it's something that you want to do. And this is where a whole category comes into it. So I've got Perfect Murkrow, which does evolve in later generations, but I'm going to be powering up to max. I got Perfect Rat, so I'm going to be powering that up because, once again, I can. I've got the dust, I'm able to do it. And we've got things like Cubone, Diglett. It really depends on how much dust I eventually end up spending, if I am going to want to do that. But eventually at some point they will be powered up to max, because I can. It's as simple as that. Yeah, they're the things that I'm powering up. Well, he's powering up. He's going to take a while. I do apologize. You know what? Let's speed you up a bit. Hopefully it gets to that sooner rather than later. So at the end here, once I'm done, once he's done, I'm going to put up all the stuff that I've powered up. So while he's finishing powering up, look, use your dust as you want, but there are definitely more correct things to power up than others. So get your best attackers of each type, or if you're a gym defender, get your good gym defenders powered up. Even though they lose motivation, there's still benefits of having high levels. So Snorlax, Chansey, Blissey, no-brainers. Aggron is a decent gym defender. Steelix is a decent gym defender. Wobbuffet, weirdly enough, is a decent gym defender, although I probably wouldn't invest anything into him just because he's just got no other purpose. But yeah, I'm excited. This is a lot of dust. It's been building up for a very long time, and once I spend it all, I'm going to be making a few more videos on what I'm going to be using, well, whereabouts I'm using these attackers. It's going to take a while for the dust to actually finish.
I'm finished. But, you're done.
Yeah,
my turn to talk.
Can I just...
you can just sit there now.
So, finally, finished spending the dust that I want to spend. So, I'm just going to quickly fire through each one, why I powered it up. Let's go. So, Dragonite, no-brainer, second base dragon attacker. Elekid, this is perfect. It also evolves in Generation 4. It is also going to be part of my thing that I haven't announced yet. Exeggutor, really good psychic attacker, really good grass attacker, use the charge TMs in between. It's also perfect. Geodude, well, Golem, best rock type attacker. Rock is so good in the meta right now against legendaries. 100% use it. Groudon, 98%, best earth attacker, ground attacker, best ground attacker. Really strong, really fat, love him. Kuroge, this is perfect. It is also a really good water attacker and with a really beefy ass. Rate Kuroge. Shiny Lugia. I already had a 96 powered up Lugia. This is a shiny powered up 96 Lugia. It's, once again, really good butt on it. Really strong psychic attacker or flying attacker. Once again, charge TMs. And it's shiny, so bonus points. Machop, 98%, really good attacker for fighting. Good against Tyranitars, Blissies, Snorlax, all those ones. Highly rate it, will be a Machamp one day. Currently staying Machop. Obanite, didn't end up spending dust on it, but this is perfect. One day it will be powered up. Porygon, once again, perfect. Waiting for Porygon Z. Will power up, will evolve when that happens. Raikou, 96%. As I said before, Raikou's best electric attacker. This is my perfect, and a 96 now max powered up. It also finished on 333 CP, so I like a thing for patterns and numbers, so woo! Rayquaza, 98, as I said before, best attacker, full stop, in the game, in a vacuum. Good Rayquaza. Sceptile, really strong grass attacker. Zapdos, really strong electric attacker. Not quite as good as Raikou, because its defensive is a lot lower, but slightly higher attack. Zapdos, really good electric attacker. Absol, this is perfect. Well, it is 100% IVs. 2, if you need a dark type attacker that's not rock, so not Tyranitar, because it's weak against waterfall or whatever, Absol is one of the best dark type attackers in the game, minus Tyranitar. Clefable, decent fairy type attacker, but we do have Gardevoir now, which is supremely better. Although, this is perfect. Once again, may power it up one day. Cubone, it's perfect. Don't judge me. Did put dust. Diglett, once again, perfect, did not power it up. Dusclops, doesn't even rate, it's perfect. For Alligator, it's a starter, it's perfect, it's now max powered out. Bite Crunch is a defensive move type, you want to have Waterfall Hydro Pump as an offensive water attacker. Flygon, Ground Dragon, has this weird dynamic about what it's good against, but super rare, hatched mine from a 10k egg, it was perfect, super stoked, powered it up all the way. Golem, I said before, thing's amazing. Hoothoot, digital souvenir, got this from Sydney, got this from Canberra while visiting my brother. It is perfect, and registered for Kingston, Australian Capital Territory. Lapras, amazing ice type attacker, this has been powered up from ages ago, really good defensive and really good offensive ice attacker. Murkrow, does evolve in Generation 4, okay dark type when it evolves, but powered up for other purposes too. Articuno, previously powered up, thing's amazing as a nice attacker. Rattata, yay, perfect rat, fully powered up, going to be using it for a little gym thingy that I'll be working on. Anyway, Spinarak, terrible but perfect. Starmie, decent water attacker, but really low defensive stats. So maybe power up one day, probably not for a while. My perfect Raikou, who's been there the whole time. Walrein, really strong ice attacker, has huge defensive and HP stats. Powered it up, so anything flying it would be good against really well. That is it. So, I went from 6.78 million Stardust down to 2.7 million. That was 4 million Stardust across all those things. I feel better. As you can see, my top screen now looks very different as before. Oh, that makes me happy. Anyway, my name is Jax. That's been Jax. We've been Jax. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.